You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. We're blasting out of the bunker, 0 dark 30, to bring you some news. This news is so big, so massive, mind-blowing, that no mainstream media is covering it. Does that make sense to you? Some of the biggest news of 2022. Well, here it is. Ukraine is calling for peace. That's right. Beloved, world's smartest little man, Voldemort, we will never surrender. We will never quit. We will take back our country. Zelensky, that guy, announced publicly, and I'll cover the details of his, well, admission that they can't win. Yeah, they're calling for peace now, folks. They're calling for peace in Ukraine. Zelensky himself. Does that make a lick of sense to you? Well, not if you listen to what they've been saying. But on the heels, folks, on the heels of the FTX, FXT, whatever the hell they are, crypto money laundering racket working through Ukraine to send money to Democrats and wash their filthy crimes. It looks like the money game is up. The money gig is up. But it's not really about the money. It's about what price was paid. This is what I want to talk to you about. What is the price and what was purchased with it? How many years? Folks, this whole thing is so disgusting and it's coming out. But this is what you and I face in SHTF. Are you ready for this? Right? Let us suppose. I'm not going to call this a conspiracy theory. I'm going to call this, let's call this hypothesizing. Some facts. Because I'm going to include a lot of facts here. Fact, in 2014, there was an uprising of sorts. Never mind if it was the CIA or not. There was an uprising in Ukraine. The government there was replaced with another government, one that has Voldemort Zelensky assume leadership. That's a fact. Since then, Ukraine has been labeled the most corrupt country in the world, right? Fact. Oh, it's at least top 10. But many argue it's literally the most corrupt country on the planet. That's pretty bad considering some of the South American, African, and Asian countries. Well, yeah, we can't dare say Europe is corrupt. Oh, no. We can't dare say America is corrupt. Oh, no. Right. Fact. American business, European business oligarchs swooped in to Ukraine to do business. Clean hands, right? Clean hands. All of a sudden, Europe and American interests and politicians are more than happy to move into Ukraine after their good buddy Zelensky becomes president. Fact, right? That's a fact. That is a big fact. Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, goes into Ukraine and gets put on the board of the largest energy company there with no executive experience to speak of, and most notably, no experience in the energy industry. And he is seated as a board of director. Why? If it's not dirty, dirty, dirty. Well, folks, it's dirty. It is indeed dirty. Look at the dirty evidence on the Hunter Biden laptop that the mainstream media refuses to promote. that they're hiding, that the prosecutors won't prosecute, that the investigators won't investigate. Fact, 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 and fact. Biolabs, banking interests, energy interests, all big money interests in Ukraine. Unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And then they started pushing for NATO, fact, to push NATO bases into Ukraine, fact, which would include air and ground forces, fact, a missile defense system, fact. How about a missile offense system? You can bet your ass, and this is some wild speculation, you can bet your ass that on a NATO base in Ukraine, the Pentagon and NATO would bring in nuclear weapons. That's some wild speculation. Oh, they've only done that 100 fucking times elsewhere, right on Russia's border, and you think Russia would tolerate that? No, they didn't. They did not. They would not allow it, and ultimately they were pushed to the brink of war, and then war happened, folks. Fact, 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 fact. And then here's the big fact, right? Days after the money laundering scheme of Ukraine happens, all interest in never giving up occurs. They just decide they're going to give up. It's time to start working towards peace. Now here's the question. How many lives were lost? How many British lives, American lives, French lives, German lives, Polish lives? All the idiot volunteers who went over to Ukraine to be cannon fodder, to be high-quality targets that were taken out and killed. How many people were killed in an effort to inspire the love of war, to demand retribution, to push those evil Russians back? We heard a lot of that, did we not? Fact, fact, and fact. But as soon as the money's gone, as soon as the money corruption is exposed, pushing for a certain political party, the Uniparty, as soon as that's exposed, the World Economic Forum's interest exposed, all of a sudden it's time for peace. I mean, there's a lot of things here at play, folks. Ukraine can still launder money. It just won't have Donbass and Luhansk. It won't have its huge natural resources. Some of its richest farming is gone over to Russia. Right now, that's it. They needed to be quiet. They need the people to quit looking at Ukraine. They needed to go back to sleep. They don't want people paying attention to Ukraine anymore. Now there's too much light on it, the wrong kind of light. People were the World Economic Forum and government leaders willing to kill. They were willing to kill every last person that it took to maintain their power and control over that country, and to increase their power and their control over that country and others. That's what they're willing to do. They're willing to take a country and destroy it, utterly smash it, sacrifice its people. That's what these people are willing to do. That's what Nancy Pelosi and the Clintons and the Obamas and the Bushes, that's what they're willing to do. Now, I believe over the weekend that George W. Bush and Obama are going to do back-to-back conferences. George W. Bush was talking about all the merits and glory of war, right? Why we have to fight the evil Russians. Promoting their war, pushing for war, excusing away their crimes, their sins, their murder. But now all of a sudden they're like, hey, no, we're done. That's it. Mad Max, folks. That's what was going on in parts of Ukraine where Russia had to go in. In their opinion, they had to. They had no choice but to go in and fight. Will they do anything like that in the United States of America? 9/11. Will they do anything like that in the United States of America? Well, look what they're willing to do to push gun control. Andy, so Parkland. Yeah. You want the truth? I think you can handle the truth. It's all about money. It's all about power. It's all about control. And these people will do anything it takes. And they'll do anything they want. If they can get away with it, folks, they will commit mass murder, war atrocities, financial, economic destruction. Look at the facts. And then ask yourself, is it a coincidence that Zelensky calls for peace just days after the political money laundering was called to the carpet? That's right. No, don't worry about FTX, folks. Don't worry about those dollars. That's only $10 billion. How many dollars were funneled through the United States government into Ukraine, calling it funding, support for the war? And how many of those dollars were washed, rinsed, and sent back into the coffers of political parties and political proponents? That is to say, to individuals. I think these are easy questions to answer if you come at it with a frame of mind and an understanding of the nature of these evil bastards. And for us here in America, not only did we pay a price, a financial dollar, Ukraine lost many, 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 many thousands of lives. Here in America, we lost billions of dollars. But how many lives and how many dollars are these bastards willing to spend and lose to make the Great Reset happen here in the United States of America? It's time to wake up. Wake up, America. Chance favors the prepared mind. Godspeed.